this has been the best gimbal I've used to date.
Hey, stand up guy on 10 toes. Big body pull up in a Range Rover. I can change the whole game when I say so. I pull up, shut it down, yeah, they know. Running this game in a thing.
I've been a big DJI fan in terms of gimbals, but I've used all of them. I used the Moza, I've used the Zhiyun Crane 3, the 3S, I've used the the original Ronin, the RS2, the RS3, the RS3 Pro, now the RS4 Pro, and when I tell you, this algorithm is next level, next level. I tested this out in Cancun and was able to shoot my first wedding with it. What really blew my mind, and the real thing that I was really interested in when DJI reached out and sent us this, was the new LiDAR. They promised significant improvements over the previous LiDAR using the Red Komodo, the OG Red Komodo, with the Greatjoy 50mm T2.9 anamorphic autofocus on an anamorphic lens by itself. Like, if you've ever used an anamorphic lens, it's incredibly difficult to see peaking lines. So even manual focus, you're always squinting, trying to figure out, is it in focus? Using it with the new LiDAR and the RS4 Pro made filming a dream. But my favorite part, my absolute favorite part about the RS4 Pro is the ability to track. Now, this is something that I really could see being even better in the future. But right now with the first model, being able to hit a button and track your subject and focus on just getting the actual camera movements is next level. There's one thing I want to talk about when talking about the LiDAR system, as obviously that's my favorite part of using the RS4 Pro, but you don't actually need the Ronin image transmitter in order to make that work. So you don't need the Raven Eye setup. Because the RS4 Pro has the attachments built into the LiDAR, you're actually able to see the focus tracking right there on the back of the gimbal, so you don't actually need your phone or something like that to get it to track. I don't have to now worry about trying to pan and tilt with my body and slowly rotate and kind of do this dance. All I gotta do is walk, I can track, and I can just go. So right now, if I was to just simply hold it here, I can track Alex, who's holding the camera. I can just walk and the camera will follow him, right? Focus on this movement here and let the camera and the autofocus detect. When I tell you that the LiDAR autofocus is insanely accurate, it blows my mind. Like, I would honestly compare this to using something like a Sony mirrorless camera or like an A7S III, something that's really good at autofocus. I really would argue that the LiDAR is probably a tad bit better, only from the simple fact that it's very smooth and it feels like somebody's actually manually pulling focus for you. Now, the actual payload for the DJI RS4 Pro is 10 pounds. It's the same amount that it gives you with the RS3 Pro. And we go back to looking at the LiDAR, you actually get 3 custom profiles that you can actually assign to this. So you can actually use this with 3 different lenses, and then all I have to do is press my function button to go to a different profile. And then from the DJI app, you can do up to 15 because each lens profile gives you 5 additional save options. So you can actually program all your favorite gimbal lenses, go in here and just simply click which lens you're using, and then the motor is already pre-calibrated for that lens, and your LiDAR is gonna work perfectly. So what you're seeing right now is you're actually seeing the LiDAR and the DJI RS4 Pro fully control and automate this system. So now I got it sitting on a tripod, and all I'm doing is just walking back and forth, and I'm letting LiDAR track me and control the gimbal. Now, what's super sick about this is I can see myself using this at a wedding for like speeches, putting my tripod in a central location and using this as a second assistant. A lot of y'all shoot solo anyway, so now you just got a second shooter and it's your gimbal. It's running autofocus and tracking, y'all. This is a game changer for filmmakers, especially some of us who are shooting and running and gunning on our own all the time. I can move quick, and this is gonna follow me. I can go all the way over here. No matter where I go, this thing is constantly locked in on me and is pulling focus at the same time. So in terms of battery life, I actually use this every single day while in Cancun shooting an Indian wedding. And I will say that the battery life I wish was a tad bit better with the battery that comes with the RS4 Pro. I think because of the camera package that I was doing, the weight, and then also running the LiDAR, it really started to drain the battery life. Now, thankfully, DJI did drop a new extended battery. So this is the guy they told you not to worry about. The cool thing about this is it's compatible with all of the other Ronin series. So you can use this with the RS4 Pro, an RS4, an RS3 Pro, an RS3, or an RS2 because they all have the exact same attachments. Now, I'm gonna be honest about that. That's something that I'm really excited about from DJI is that they're keeping the same design. So all of our peripherals, my tilter ring and things like that are all fully compatible because the design stayed the same, but the technology is improved. And I think that alone is a reason to stay with a certain ecosystem. So the RS4 Pro bundle comes with the battery, tripod feet, quick release plate that also supports vertical shooting, the briefcase handle, camera control cables, the Ronin image transmitter, Focus Pro motor and mounting kit, focus gear strip, the phone holder, longer quick release plate. So another thing I want to point out about this gimbal is how they actually designed this base plate. So you have your quick release plate, but you also got the 15mm rod built into it. So now everything attaches to the camera and you don't got to figure out how to jerry rig it or attach it to the front of the base plate and have the rods coming out the front. It's all nice and compact, and I can literally pop this off my gimbal, go handheld, and now I'm good to go. And then when I'm ready, because of the quick release plate, I can simply just slide this back into place. And now I'm ready to roll on gimbal all over again. They also redesigned the actual base plate itself. So a lot of us, now vertical video is a thing of the future. So if you're not rocking with it, then you better jump on board now. Now all you gotta do to do this is unscrew this piece here, pop off the entire plate, and then all you gotta do is snap this into place in vertical formation, just like this. One quick little pop in, tighten it down, and now I'm ready to rebalance and shoot vertically, just like that. So I can easily go from shooting on my gimbal horizontal to vertical with just a simple flick of the wrist. No, I'm just kidding. A flick of the plate. That's it. Just a flick of the plate and you're good to go. One of my favorite things that DJI did when they dropped the RS3 Pro was the auto lock. Now, I don't know anybody else that's talking about this as much as I am, but I absolutely love the auto lock. Being able to just run and gun, go from gimbal, hit the button, lock it, and now I can emulate almost a handheld feeling is a game changer. I kid you not, I do this every wedding. There's so many scenarios where I want to get smooth and then other times where I want to quickly adapt and get reaction shots. And I can do that using this gimbal and keep my hand right there ready to roll. I don't have to sit here and try to fumble and lock like you traditionally have to do. I can just hit one button and the locks automatically go back into place. And the cool thing is you can make this fold and lock, or my favorite, just simply recenter and lock. Overall, my experience using the RS4 Pro has been a game changer. I kid you not, it really is a super smooth algorithm. I don't really know what that means. All I can tell you is that from using an RS3 Pro and using the RS4 Pro, I definitely can tell a difference. And to me, it actually is a lot more stable. It handles a lot of those offsetting movements. It fixes a lot of that micro jitter. And I was using it with a Red Komodo and a Greatjoy anamorphic. So things didn't have built-in IBIS or optical image stabilization anyway. The gimbal does a really good job at balancing that and kind of fighting against some of those bumps and little micro jitters that you typically get when using a pistol grip gimbal. Now, if you're considering buying an RS4 or an RS4 Pro and you're trying to decide which one should I get, think about it this way. If you're using a heavier camera, something like a Red Komodo, or you're trying to use like cinema lenses and use the LiDAR, you're gonna wanna go with the RS4 Pro. Now, if you're using like a mirrorless camera like a Nikon Z8, you'll perfectly be fine using an RS4. The payload for both gimbals and the support is drastically different. That's gonna wrap us up for this video. If there's any other questions that I didn't answer, as always, you can drop them in the comments down below. And if you're interested in picking up one of these gimbals, I'll also leave affiliate links down attached in the description. And until the next video, y'all, keep creating, and I will see you in the next one.
Way out the fear, ain't no way out for me. They always told me I'm the wave, like I'm way out. And see, I know some real ones turn state. Ain't no way I could be out here living like the villain. Only way up for me. Moving out the purges, I get time.